Two segments to the session and the webinar today. In the first segment, we've only focused on Azerbaijan as a destination for Indian weddings and other occasions. And the second segment, we will learn about Baku's preparedness with regard to the ongoing pandemic and the future outlook. At this point, I'd like to make it clear that the views and opinions expressed during the session by the respective speakers stand in personal capacity only and do not in any manner reflect the official policy, position, or statement by any organization, brand, or hotel. Well, let's get straight into it. The first segment is all about Azerbaijan. Now, Azerbaijan, for all of you who've not been there or do not know much, serves as a gateway between Asia and Europe. Now, this magical country has a rich cultural heritage with a mix of immersive and impressive mountain backdrops, dry landscapes, volcanoes, and rustic countryside. The capital city, Baku, is also known as the city of winds, as the Caspian blows cold winds here throughout the year. Join in at this time. We have the four leading hotels from Baku, and it'll be great to have a discussion with them and understand their perspective. So let me get straight into it. I would like to introduce all of them. Mr. Matthew Grepo, Fairmont General Manager. We have Mr. Alper Bulkum, who is also representing the JW Marriott Hotel. We also have Mr. Bob Suri from Four Seasons and Ildrim from Bilga Beach Hotel. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all here on this very first one of its kind platform where we actually brainstorming and understanding how we can work together as an industry ecosystem and take weddings or Indian market into contention. So let me get straight into it. So first, my first question would be to Mr. Matthew Grepo. Mr. Grepo, if you could highlight your past experiences with Indian weddings in general.
Terrible.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much. Well, first of all, hello to everybody, and it was indeed very nice to see these old videos from their first wedding that happened back in September 2018. We had great experience, definitely. I think that what made it very successful is that everybody was involved, not only the suppliers, but the family, the wedding planner. We all came to be on one team, and we made it happen. And you said that there was 8 months of preparation, indeed. But there again, I mean, food tastings, food reviews of the menus, the venues, the entertainment, everything was really very well prepared. And that's why I believe this first wedding that happened here in Baku at the Flame Towers, the Fairmont, was a great success.
Mr. Alper, you're from JW as well, and take us through what do you feel about the challenges that have generally come up with Indian weddings?
Good afternoon, everybody. So as you know that I am the newest one in the town among the other general managers. So I just arrived in December. Unfortunately, so far I didn't experience the Indian wedding in Baku, but I heard that very beautiful things, and I watched the videos of the previous one which has been held in the hotel in 2019. But I am very familiar with Indian weddings because I held many of them in my previous destinations. What I like most is that because every Indian wedding is different than each other and everything is so colorful. This is what I like. And also I saw in the videos that the Baku has everything to offer to the Indian weddings. So of course, every wedding has different challenges, but you know what? The spirit is there, and then we can easily solve the issues, we can easily find the solutions, we can offer a lot to the people. So that's why, yes, every city they have challenges, but I think it is the best place to have the weddings, I think, in Baku.
Okay, that's great.
Thanks very much, Kunal and Roshan, to put this together. This is an incredible platform to bring Baku at the forefront. So really, really appreciate this.
So great. Thank you so much, Mr. Suri, for your time. I'll come straight to it. Now, as far as innovations are concerned, I think today itself we had an email from your Vice President, Four Seasons, Mr. Ben Trott, who spoke about initiatives or an hygiene officer. We're just trying to highlight the key initiatives or solutions that Baku hotels in general are looking to address this well-being of their guests and clients. So anything that you would like to add?
I think as we all know, COVID-19 has put all of us and all the businesses in a very, very precarious situation. And hygiene and healthcare is going to be at the forefront for everybody's minds. I think all hotel companies are doing their best to ensure that their customers and their employees' safety is looked after. We as a hotel company are doing the same, and we just launched a global program called Leading with Care. And we've signed up with Johns Hopkins internationally, who are going to closely work with our company, look at our policies and procedures, and also as COVID evolves, will work with us. And it's going to be an organic relationship, because we don't know where we're going with this. We think we are nearing the end, but I don't think we are. But it's an evolving situation. We're all going to learn from it, and we need to be prepared to welcome our guests and make sure that they all feel safe and secure when they enter the hotel. So using our technology when it comes to providing the guests with contactless experiences. We were also leaders in mobile chats, right? So we've got a mobile app where the guests can chat and place all various requests, from room service to housekeeping. They could do check-ins and check-outs, and they really don't have to interact with people. So that has come into the forefront. We're going to use that technology to ensure that we maximize our guest experiences and also customize them.
That's obviously a lot of new people coming into the market, and a lot of Indians coming in as well. Moving on, we have Ildram from Bilga Beach Hotel, which has also hosted an Indian wedding. Again, the client was from Dubai in this case. Ildram, your views about how Indian weddings are important for your hotel.
Thank you very much, Kunal, and what a great initiative that you've gathered all of us here today. Hello to all the other colleagues as well. It's true, we did host an Indian wedding at the Bilga Beach property. I think the impact on the destination is going to be felt actually for the years to come. Unfortunately, with the pandemic now, everything has come to a halt. But it is through the initiative and the efforts of also a lot of DMCs and travel agents who are marketing the destination out in India as a family-oriented destination. And I think this is one of the key elements that we must keep on pushing so that people not only consider the destination for weddings or events, but also for family trips and leisure trips, because I believe these two segments go hand in hand. Once a beautiful family comes and visits, they have a good time, the word of the mouth spreads about the destination. Now, the impact of the wedding itself, I don't think it's any secret. I think it's actually one of the biggest industries in the world, especially whoever is organizing weddings, they're always targeting Indian weddings due to the number of events that actually take place throughout one wedding. So it is no secret that it's also a great revenue opportunity for the properties and for the destination to be marketed as a happening place internationally.
Great. Note, I would like to bring forth on this panel discussion are the Roma couple, Rohit and Maithili, to give us a client's perspective. Yes, and of course, on that note, I'd also like to introduce Gayatri, who's Maithili's sister, the bride's sister. We all look for that wedding planner who's a member within the family who gets the work done through the family. And for us, it was Gayatri. She was an extension of the planning team in the family. So I leave it to you guys. And my first question, which is what I'm sure everybody's going to ask you, Gayatri, because you went a lot into the planning part of it. How and why did you end up in Baku?
Kunal said, I got married a couple of years ago in Switzerland, and the expectations were so high. So when it came time to plan my sister's wedding, we went to probably 4 or 5 different countries before, or we spoke to different hotels, spoke to different destinations. But as soon as my family and I landed in Baku, we knew that it was a sealed deal. It was done. Obviously, we had an amazing time, but Baku in itself is such a perfect destination because for us, with an Indian heritage, it's the perfect East meets West. Not only that, it's also extremely safe, secure, There were so many different venues where we could host our events, which is a big thing when you're getting married in an Indian family. You have so many different events, right? You have 7, 8, 9, 10 events. So every single place, every single event can be in a different destination or a different place within Baku if you want to. That was a huge selling point for us. Of course, also the people. So when we got to meet all different vendors, we met such incredible people. They were humble, respectful, honest, but also they wanted to work so hard to prove that Baku is a great destination, that it worked so well together.
Imagine a scenario, and this is like the worst case scenario for any planner or any vendor or any hotel, I would say, but imagine that you've been planning a wedding in a virgin destination. For 4 months, everything's booked, the clients are booked, guests, vendors, everything is finalized. And then all of a sudden, we have India and Pakistan tensions escalating, post which the airspace is shut. And 1 month into the wedding, we're like clueless. So speaking about contingencies, all the planning that goes behind, which we all as planners and as all partners do, there are these situations which are thrown at us all time and again. And it's all about what you can do with it and not do with it. That's exactly why I thought it'll be important and interesting to bring another client who's done a wedding in Baku under these circumstances and get a little perspective as to what happened and how it happened. But it's actually quite interesting. On that note, I'd like to introduce the couple itself, Isha, Pratik, and the groom's sister, Neha Bhargav, who have helped plan the wedding from, again, the extension of somebody who we look forward to. So if we can have you guys join in, and this would be nice if Neha, you could take us through what exactly happened and how you end up in Baku.
Okay, hi everyone, and thank you Kunal for having us, and a very warm hello to everybody from the webinar world and of course everyone in Baku. So our relationship with Baku was an accidental one, of course, like Kunal said. We were all set to get these two married in Kazakhstan with 6 months into planning, and that's when we come to know of this unfortunate situation wherein all the flight tickets are booked, and of course, the frenzy that followed within the family and the anxiety levels were top notch. And that's when Kunal steps in and recommends Baku to us. And without thinking twice, we jumped on the opportunity and we scheduled a recce trip. Because these guys were fresh out of Roma, they knew the turf, they knew everything, and it was a welcome. Like it was like a welcome thing to come across people who do not take advantage of your situation, who are extremely helpful, not just the hotel, but all the vendors, specifically Mr. Greppo from Fairmont or Konal from SS Productions. All of these guys just came in together and helped us pull this thing off with just 1 month into planning. We don't know how it came, how it went, but it just went, and it just went as a breeze, I think.
There are times when a client looks for a one-stop shop. So I'm sure this is why I'm putting it up, because from India, it's very important for us to understand. Do you guys prefer being the one-stop shop, or do you prefer having a planner involved in such instances where you have so much to take care of any which way?
Definitely, one-stop shop is a plan which can be realized within maybe a couple of years. But as of today, I would definitely say that having a planner with the client is a great help and is a great support, because still we are learning, we're indulging and kind of blending in the international and the cultural differences that we're experiencing, and in order to maintain and make sure that we deliver the best service that we can, both in the service, in the communication, the final result, we need to make sure that we do have the planner, because it really ensures that everything is smooth from A to Z, from minute zero till the very last moment, because it's not about the event, it's about the communication, it's about the network, it's about the connections that we have after the wedding, because we're maintaining our clients till today, and I think it's the best thing to have the result as a result of the event.
Great. I think there's hope for us then to actually come down and do some business there. So that's
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Narmin. Now we all know, and I'm sure there are a lot of planners and like anyone for that matter would agree that when it comes to food, like Indian weddings do carry the entire jingbang. It's whether it's chefs or whether it's ingredients or anything and everything in food becomes a key factor when it comes to selecting a destination. And that's exactly why we have with us Amit Taneja from JW. He's an executive chef, a Delhi boy, and would be very good for him to give us an understanding, because I think being an Indian in Baku for a while, Amit, you just take us through as far as when it comes to the availability of the Indian palate and the ingredients and the entire menus and the buffets. How does Baku fare?
But hello everyone. Thank you, Kunal, for the introduction. As you said, right, the Indian wedding or the Indian the events is all about food. Food is the main part of the event, and if you win that, I think you win the whole battle already. I will take you further. Like, I'll just give you a little brief about Baku and the food sector, and then we'll go through what we have here locally available. Baku has really developed over the years the food and beverage offerings. You call it cafe, bars, restaurants. They're all built beautifully around city, and they're reachable with a fraction the distances, and you don't have to worry about the traffic, and you have to distance time as compared to other cities around the world. I came to Baku around 5 years back, and we only had 148 restaurants earlier, and now we have 879 restaurants. We have 29 restaurants of them. They are purely Indian, and Baku has opened to Indian taste lately, because from past 2 years, when from the Indian market, this sector was totally unexplored, and then we had MICE business for events and FITs and not to forget the beautiful weddings we had here. So that really opened up the market and for people to understand the importance of the Indian food. In regards to food in Baku, that can cater to Indian palate, of course. So we have Mexican restaurants, and we have Pan Asian, we have brasseries, etc. that cater to Indian taste. That and the cost is at fraction if you compare to Bombay and Delhi, and because of course, and also not forgetting the local cuisine that is very it is very intriguing and definitely recommended to try. It's feel a culture. Of course, all the weddings and all the events come down. You won't try. Of course, the food and beverage offering and requirements differ from market to market segment. For events, will be different. But whereas we talk about weddings, it's all about showcasing. It's all about with the pride, and it's all about the personalized touch with the food, and that's where you come in the picture, and that's where a chef like me or like myself will be in the picture, who really understand and who really connect both ends. With the culture that where we came from and where we are now, to deliver what they need and go beyond expectations. In terms of what we have in Baku, of course, we don't get all the produce in Baku itself, so we have to source that mainly with Dubai, or mainly apart from India. But Baku market, as from the past 2 years, has been opening, so it has been fairly easier. And I can see it's going to get better and better in the near future.
And in terms of the infrastructure, now, for example, we with the first wedding we came in and we didn't have a tandoor, for example. We had to look for it all across the city. We had to probably look at Dubai as an option. Is that infrastructure-wise, we're pretty much more comfortable as far as Baku for food is concerned?
Well, absolutely. Thing is, you need to have people who really understand what's needed, and then doing it is not a problem. As we said, with the culture, people are really humble. People are ready to do things, and people love the Indian weddings because of the colors and the food. So if we understand what we need, it's easily possible. In regards to tandoor, that's in the local culture anyway. So
okay, yeah, that's great. That's great, Amit. Which helps you, or is basically a backbone when you look at our operations to the entire wedding. For that, we have with us Vikrant, who is well known to the Indian market. Vikrant Grover from Pasha Travels. He handles a lot of movement of Indian MICE and wedding groups altogether. He's been a pioneer as far as promoting the destination as well. So Vikrant, quickly I'll come to you, and I know thank you so much for extending your time. My straight question to you is, how do you foresee travel for Baku going forward?
Kunal, hi. Thank you so much for getting me here. I think Baku is going to pick up as a destination. It is already picking up. Apart from only weddings, we are getting a lot of leisure requests already from our clients. We have the world famous, the famous online travel agencies in India who are already working on programs for Azerbaijan as a destination, where they are putting in more and more programs on their online platforms to attract leisure market to Azerbaijan. We have already started getting requests from some clients who are not maybe like large corporations like Samsung or Hitachi's, but there are some corporations who have already started asking us about bringing in their MICE groups. We had a lot of cancellations in the month of March, April, and May for confirmed business with us. And these clients have come back to us, already started coming back to us and asking us that when is the destination opening? What are the new norms going to be? So we are right now a little quiet about it because we do not know what are the new norms that the government is going to come up with. But we definitely we can see that, we have our hands full of requests and queries. And I think with Air Arabia, Fly Dubai announcing flights already to Baku, and we are more and more people are coming back to us because there are refunds which airlines has not given back to the clients, and those clients can only use those refunds to come back to Baku, and they will come back. And if somebody who cancelled his event in March has to complete it before March next year, and that is why I see that we are positive and we are sure we will get it.